Welcome to this week's Business in Focus. I'm delighted to be joined by Mike Handley, the owner, director, chairman, MD, everything else of Graphic Results.
Gopher.
Gopher.
I'd actually call it.
Hey, great to catch up with you this week. And first up, let's just learn a bit more about you, your business, your journey so far.
Well, we set Graphic Results up. It'll be 15 years ago on the 7th of August this coming year, which I'm quite sort of pleased that we've managed to survive that long. Worked from home for a good sort of length of time. Then we moved into some premises. And then March 2010, I had one of those wake-up calls that sort of smacked me in the face. What happened was my car had to be serviced, so I borrowed Liz's. I dropped Liz down at the Belper office, and then I took my kids to school. And beautiful blue sky, kids running off, going, see you later, Daddy. Got back in the car and just suddenly went, this is mad. This is the first time in 2 years I've dropped my kids off at school. And I used to do it, 2 or 3 times a week, pick them up. Got home that evening and just said to Liz, that's it, enough's enough. I do not want that anymore. That's not why we set the business up. It's to give us control. So we managed to sell in December 2010 the business in Chesterfield. Made a big loss on it, but life and family are more important than just on this hamster wheel of so-called life. This year we've made another very big change because of how the market has gone. All our work now basically comes in over the internet and over the phone, and we had a retail premises. The retail market for people walking in has gone. That market, as far as I'm concerned, is not worth entertaining anymore. So what we have done is we've got rid of the premises. We've now got a place on Pride Park, which I can use when I need to. And we're now taking the business back home. So we can mix and match it between the two. So we have got now the best family life back, because that is what is important to me.
So how do you go about growing your business?
We've grown our business over the last few years basically by embracing social media. Social media is a complete area that has changed the way that businesses can market. With the likes of Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, you can actually get past that firewall of that front reception desk. You can talk to people directly, interact with them directly, and build that trust up, that relationship up. Because old saying, but so true, people buy from people built on trust. And once you've built that trust up, given time, people buy from you on service. Price within reason doesn't come into the equation as long as they get value for money. If you go down the route of price, you then end up running around like a headless chicken and actually not actually achieving a great deal. And then you get the wrong sort of customers who, in my opinion, aren't then loyal, because all their common denominator that they buy through is just on price. If somebody comes along and does it £1 cheaper, you've more likely lost that customer. So do you want that customer?
Yeah, because I know a lot of our viewers be thinking right now, I heard a bit about social media. I hear LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, but how do I apply that into my business that is going to be right for my particular business, and how can I actually build my client base and keep customers for longer?
It's all about 3 very basic ways of doing it. That is, 1, informing people about you as the person, what you're up to, not doing stupid things like saying I'm having a cup of coffee. That's pointless. But the things that motivate you, the things that drive you. Another angle is a third of it about your business, but not selling. Not selling, giving people ideas, giving people tips, sharing your knowledge, sharing your experience. And the third, which is so important, is then helping others. Because if you help people, you're seen then that you are adding knowledge, adding value. Because, again, it goes back to that people buy from people. And they don't buy from brands.
And you invest quite a lot of your time helping local businesses across the East Midlands. I know that you've got, is it Look East Midlands?
Yeah, Look East Midlands.
And tell me about what is the objective of doing that, and what do you find the benefits are for businesses across the East Midlands, and how can I get involved in that?
Well, I set that up a couple of years ago, just as a way of promoting local business. So I have business of the day. On a Wednesday between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock at night, I have what's called East Midlands Hour, where people can actually just post up their news, their offers, and then I try to retweet some of them out, but it gets crazy that usually I get maxed out after about 40 minutes by Twitter because I've actually used too many tweets. But there's 10,000 followers on that,
Wow.
of which the vast majority are East Midland based, which again is a way, if you're a little business and you've got only a few followers, it's a very quick way of sending your message out to potentially 10,000 inboxes at the end of the day. What I've learnt over the years is it's creating a win-win situation.
Interesting.
If you can create a win-win situation, then you build up more of responsibilities. You build up more that people trust what you're doing. You're playing, as I said, say, the long game. You're not in it as, let's make a quick fast buck, let's go in, let's get that sorted out, sod off, no one knows you, and that's that. I look at customers and I don't want their business now. I want the business in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, 4 years' time. And that is about building the trust, the relationship.
One of the things that you've been talking about is the importance of having great marketing in a company, and that's how you help people. Tell me a bit about the importance of sort of testing and measuring to make sure that you are getting the right bang for your buck.
Very, very important, because if you don't measure what you're spending, how do you know it's working? So, for example, if you use email marketing, make sure you've got an email marketing system that you can actually log in to actually see who's opened the email, when they've opened the email. If you've got a website, make sure you're using Google Analytics to ensure that you're getting the throughput and where people are going, why they're going to those pages, and if they're leaving, why are they leaving? If you're sending out, for example, an advert, have some form of tracking system on it. So maybe put a voucher on it. So you've got some way of monitoring what's coming back to you. Use things like, again, vouchers on things like within tweets sometimes, if you've got something that you're wanting to promote, or on Facebook. If you've got a voucher, use it to data capture. Try and get the person's name, address, most importantly, email, because email at the end of the day is free. If you use email, get their Twitter account or the Facebook account, if you're a restaurant, if you're a hairdresser, that you're appointment based,
Yeah.
Is it not better if you've got a bit of a quiet day to be able to say, right, I'm going to give 50% off today, send that out as an emailer, bring that in, and you've got a bum on a seat.
Yes.
So you're getting some revenue coming in than no revenue coming in. And that's the beauty of email marketing. Social media marketing is instant. You can actually get a response instant.
You've been in business for 15 years now. If someone's thinking about setting up in Derby right now, what sort of advice would you have for them in terms of the real sort of areas to really think about, to watch out for?
First of all is remember why you're doing it right from the start. What you're doing it for. Also think about that if you're going into business and thinking, I'm going to get rich quick, it doesn't happen. It's a long, hard slog. Some people are very lucky. They do fall into a niche market very quickly and can happen. But vast majority of people who set up in business, yes, they do for the money, but they also do it for, more importantly, to be in control of their life and their destiny. Make sure your branding's right to start off with. Make sure you have the right vision. Do your homework. Understand who your market is, who your customers are, what makes you different to what your competitors are doing. But most of all, and the most important thing is, make sure you have fun, because that's the most important thing. Is if you feel you're on that hamster wheel, get off the hamster wheel. Don't be frightened of making change, and get on with making change if you need to. So always review what you're doing, always assess what you're doing, and always remember why you're doing it.
Yeah, the why is so important, isn't it? Fantastic advice. Mike, it's been a great pleasure. I think there's a real lessons for all of us in terms of the passion that Mike and the team have got there for the business. Not being afraid to change when you need to change the model if it isn't working, and following your heart, following your why that you've talked about. We all know that if you're going to grow a business, you've got to be pretty good at No, actually good. You've got to be great at marketing. You really got to hone in on that area, and that's really come through loud and clear. Great to have you with us today. If you do want to get involved in a future edition, or you want to have your business really in the spotlight, we'd love to hear from you. Get involved. You can get onto the website or YouTube or whatever, and we'd love to hear from you and your business story.